Warning, this podcast was produced by two men who still think that swearing is both big and clever. As a result, it contains quite a lot of it. Therefore, this podcast is not suitable for children, unless they're really fucking cool children. Yes, people, Dave Fensom here with another episode of Pop Collaborate and Listen. We're going straight in this week, no intro. We kind of had a feeling that perhaps it was getting a little bit superfluous and that you didn't need me to say, yes, it's Dave, twice. Anyway, I'm here as always with my good friend, Mr. Chris Greer.
Hello, everybody. Welcome along.
Yeah, well, we are, I would say tumescent with excitement today.
Yes, I can smell it in the air.
Yeah, it's
incredible what we've got up to this today.
Yeah.
Let's face it, after the last one, after Tori Amos, which was a great album, and I think as well, we've picked up quite a few new listeners, hopefully, off that. We got really good numbers on the downloads. So hopefully some Tori Amos fans are like, okay, these guys, they know what they're talking about. They've got some good views on music.
Yeah.
Welcome to this episode.
Yeah, if you don't know, I guess if you are new to the podcast and you haven't kind of caught exactly what the premise is, because it's not just two blokes chatting about pop music, it's to incredibly attract... No, it's not. No, basically our premise is we're doing every single number one album of the 90s, not because we think that's the best music, because we were listening to other stuff. We're interested in knowing what the majority of people in the UK were listening to.
The populace was into, yeah.
Yeah, and as I say, sometimes that throws up Tori Amos and we get to go and do something really, really cool like that. And then other times we get this week when we get to listen to the second album we've had to cover by Enigma.
Second album. Again, if you've just joined us, you won't have necessarily have heard our first episode on Enigma on their MCMXC AD album. We struggled with that one because it's just terrible.
I would say if it's not the worst album we've listened to, it's
up there.
I would say definitely top three.
I'm pretty sure you would still say it was your least favourite.
It is my personal least favourite.
Yeah. I still would go more Right Said Fred.
Yeah,
that just made me so angry. But Enigma was terrible. It was just dreadful. And now they've come back again 2 years later, and we have to do another Enigma album because that's the rules.
That's the rules. This one's called The Cross of Changes.
Right.
Now, I'm going to be basically what I'd say to you is if you've not listened, we're not going to rehash a lot of the stuff about Enigma in this one. If you want to check it out, check out the first episode. You know, people fall into two camps really with our podcast. We found people that like the ones where we really like something, and people that like the ones where we really hate something. That is definitely in the second category.
Yeah.
So go and check that one out. Got a lot of bile about that. So I've got to say, coming into this, I am not excited. I'm the opposite of excited.
True, yeah, and we have been kind of aware of this coming up for a little while as well, in the same way that we always are about the really kind of dubious ones. We knew there was a second Enigma album on the horizon, and we've not been looking forward to it. But we're here. We've got to do it, and we always try and say we go in with an open mind. And
I'm going to say to you, right, up front, spoilers, I do not hate every track on this album.
Right, okay.
Which is
interesting.
That's fucking improvement.
That's a huge improvement.
Right. We'll see what level it is.
Okay.
But, I've gone into this with an open mind.
Okay,
right?
good.
As open a mind as I can. But look, let's start as we always do with the cover. Who knows? It's a bloke... Probably, I don't know.
Possible.
Halo of light. Look, it's kind of vaguely... It's not the worst cover we've seen.
No, not at all. There's some... I would say there's not talent behind it, but it's not just a really bad Photoshop or MS Paint job.
I think it looks more like a computer game cover, though.
Oh, that's okay.
You've got that kind of Enigma 2. It's like, this looks like a PC shooter or something.
Yeah, that's fair. But if you know like kind of what you're getting, if you've heard any Enigma at all, and you know it's going to be a little bit new agey and kind of synths in there and some chill out beats, there you go. Yep, that works. That kind of fits for that as well. In my book, it's not off putting. Doesn't draw me in. Don't care. But it's fine for what it has to do.
Yeah. So Enigma, again, just at the most casual recap that we can, are very much the vanguard of this kind of easy listening, almost got a bit of a deep housey vibe to it. Yeah. Very, very much trenched in new age ideology.
Exactly. That sheen over the top of everything. We saw in the first one where that was famous for having the Gregorian monks chanting, and then some kind of weird breathy vocals and this sort of stuff. And there was lots of talk about the earth and Mother Nature and that sort of business. Fine. It was just really dull and terrible.
And fucking infuriating. I found the whole thing so fucking smug and stupid that I wanted to burn the man to the ground.
But it got to number 1 and sold huge amounts across the world. This second album, the one we're looking at, which is, like you said, The Cross of Changes, it was only number 1 for 1 week in the UK in February 1994. But it did still sell over 2 million copies in the US, and it's done over 8 million worldwide.
And the single, which is on this record, was just...
Oh, it was everywhere.
I mean, it was everywhere. It was, it was number 1 in what... I mean, we'll get to it, I guess, when we talk about the song, but, it was synced everywhere. It was just one of those ubiquitous kind of songs without edges that you could put over everything, and it was catchy enough that people... Anyway.
Yeah, and this was the 14th best-selling album of 1994 in the UK, this album. 14th, which is no mean feat, for an album that only number 1 for 1 week. But it just kept selling.
Again, as we often say here, you've got to remember, particularly if you're, I was going to say, if you're young and you're listening to this, why would you be? As if you are. But, you've got to remember the context of music in the 90s. It was all about selling records. It was pre-Napster. Yep. That was where all the money came from. You could print a CD for 6 pence and charge 20 quid for
Absolutely,
it.
You could, yeah.
So anyway, right, let's crack into this one. Okay. So the first track is called Second Chapter.
All right, let's put this on then, okay? And it's worth saying at this point that there are only 9 songs on this album, and of varying lengths.
Yeah, I mean, you can debate, is this a song? This is probably, as you said...
This is more of an intro, really.
Yeah, more of an intro. Yeah. So what we've got... we've got a load of ambient noises here, some traditional instrumentation. Yeah, a bit of an Eastern feel, as a favourite. We've got to get that fucking printed on a T-shirt at some point.
Or tattoos on our backs.
No, I'm not. Find room on my back, mate.
True enough.
And then we're going to get shortly into our favourite Enigma trope, the profound voiceover.
Yes, we are. Yeah. This bit that we're hearing, this horn sound, is a sample of a left field track that was it's the same sample they used on the first song on the first album. Yeah. This was their intro. So they are kind of getting us back into... they're reintroducing themselves the same way as they did the first time.
Yeah, which, in my opinion, I don't want to be reminded of that.
You'd rather not. There's another sample from a project by Anne Dudley from The Art of Noise and Jazz Coleman from Killing Joke.
Yeah.
Which is where they get some more of the kind of the Eastern wailing that's going to come in. That's from them. But the replication of track 1 on the first album to track 1 on this album is, I assume, to go to comfort you and go, you're safe, you're in the same little bath here. Don't worry, it's all okay.
Well, if you run one album into the other, is there some kind of...
Oh, I bet you there is, exactly.
A profound voiceover. I don't know what she's saying on this one, but what I can tell you is it's fucking bollocks.
Oh, it's absolutely new age nonsense. I can tell you what it says. It says...
I don't want to know.
We came out of the deep to help and understand, but not to kill. It takes many lives till we succeed to clear the debts of many, many 100 years. What?
I give a fuck.
What the fuck is that?
Okay, and this one, as I say, that's track 1, and it runs into... We'll just keep it rolling.
Oh, yeah, might as well.
Okay, run to track number 2, which is called The Eyes of Truth.
Right, The Eyes of Truth. So, yeah, a lot of the songs on this album do kind of mix into each other, and that's the journey that Michael Cretu...
that's the genius of Cretu.
I know, good. This was the second single in May 1994, and this got to number 21 as a single.
Mm-hmm. The traditional instrumentation is building up here.
There we go. We're getting a little bit.
What would you call that instrument, do you reckon?
Horrible.
Yeah, and here's a break beat.
But that drum beat, it reminded me of the Higher Love by Stevie Winwood. Do that bit. But yeah, we've got a bit more of a break in here.
See, this is the thing. Like, I love a break beat, and I really don't like seeing them treated this way.
you reckon there's a hotline you can phone for mistreatment of
I feel like this is like when you've got a friend and like not like their new boyfriend is being abusive, but you're like, oh, I don't really like the way you fucking talk to her.
Sure, right.
You're better than that. Do you know what I mean? Look, here we are again. It's Moonwolf the musical. We've got Yin Yang singles, Incense and Dreamcatchers.
Yes.
Ahoy! Right. Healthy dose of our old pal. The Panpipes is coming in a while.
The thing is, I thought maybe it being 1994 at this point, maybe I thought he'd leave the Panpipes behind.
No way.
Because, in 94, who's going to do that? That's the cheesiest thing you could possibly do.
You don't...
Oh, no, here we go.
Here we go. You don't shoot the cash cow, mate.
Apparently
but
not.
The wailing on this track I could fundamentally do without.
Oh, of course. No, absolutely. Absolutely.
For the most part, a lot of this is relatively inoffensive. Like, if I was... if it was on quietly in the background whilst I was having a massage, I'd have no great issue with it.
That is where you'd hear it. Yes, absolutely. Okay. The main vocal, right, the Mongol is Mongolian folk music. Of course it is. It's fucking Enigma. Of course it is. But it also has a sample from Ultraviolet, Light My Way by U2 off their Achtung Baby record, right? And I'm just going to... actually, wait. I'll let it get to the point in this song, and then I'm going to play the U2 song as well, because he's on this album. He's said that he wanted to go in a more sort of quote-unquote rock direction at times, and to do that he has sampled some more rock bands. But he sampled some utter bollocks bits of some rock bands and made it sound like this.
Well, this is the thing. Like, when you're talking about the intro about him getting compositions from people like Art of Noise, like, a lot of thought has gone into getting certain sounds that you have deliberately made sound as wallpaper as you possibly can.
Yes.
It's like my ears are tuned very differently to yours if you hear something pleasing in this for me, right, this track itself is mellow enough. I've got no major beef with this track. Weirdly though, at 3 minutes it fades out and you go, this track's over, and then
but then you look at the time on it.
I thought, no, there's another 4 minutes to go.
This is a 7 minute song.
7 minutes. And I'm not sure what the purpose of the fade is. Obviously, it comes back in, and we'll get to it in a bit.
Sure.
Comes in very bombastically and kind of biblical, like kind of Cecil B. DeMille.
Sure, okay.
But, I mean, I guess it's got some drama to it in that aspect. But
I suspect he is such a po-faced melodramatic man that I can just picture him going, and then we'll bring it in, and then we'll do this, and it's just be an epic. It's like, Michael, man, you've made a really boring start, and then you put some big drums in a minute. But,
I mean, I find this boring, right?
Yes.
But I will say, I find it probably it does feel a little bit better than some of the stuff from the first record.
Oh, okay. So you're not as offended by this then?
I'm not as offended by it. I mean, I am just... part of it might be resignation.
Oh, see, yeah.
Right? But...
yeah.
But I didn't find... And trust me, there are albums we will get to, moments on this album that we will get to.
Right.
But I didn't find this quite as embarrassing.
I see, okay.
As some of the stuff of the first record.
Right. All right. I mean, this is what you're talking about, presumably the drama, this big kind of choral backing going on. Yeah.
And these kind of big timpani drums that are kind of hitting in the background.
Some of the drums are sampled from a Genesis song, and I was like looking as well, because there's a Peter Gabriel song in the mix here, and there's some Vangelis, which makes a lot of sense. But I was going, Genesis, that makes sense. I was thinking, what Genesis song is it? And it's one off the last album that we had to do, that We Can't Dance album.
Yeah.
It's not off one of their kind of prog epics. It's some of the tinny stuff off their 1991 effort.
Well, let's be clear. I don't think that your fucking boy Cretu has got a long, deep history. If you listen to the first record, that didn't say to me, this guy's been listening to loads of really cool and exciting music that I like for years and brought it to the fore. Sounds to me like he's gone, what's happening in 2 albums from the fucking previous year. Oh, I've heard this. Oh, how about that bit? I've heard this. How about that bit? That sounds like it's...
Oh, very true, very true. I'm just surprised, because I think, a lot of the stuff that he was doing, or the way he was making sounds in his own songs, it did make me think, oh, he wants to be Vangelis. I thought there was some of the Blade Runner-y stuff that Vangelis had done, hints of that. But then, just using Vangelis in this song, I'm like, oh no, he's taking the easy route and just putting some very ineffectual shit.
Yeah.
That Vangelis has done over the top of his own thing, and it's just wishy-washy.
Yeah. It's
and there's some more panpipes.
As with all of it, it lacks anything that kind of resembles soul
very much,
I don't know. The whole thing feels contrived.
Oh God, yeah. But I do think that there's an element which is him, sitting barefoot in the studio with his sunglasses on indoors and incense in the background, taking it very seriously. And so it's contrived, but I do think he's the contrivance is his own personality. He's become that. Yes,
but there is no, I always think that something that someone has tried hard to do is better than something that someone has half-assed. But at the same time, there is no rule in that means that we have to enjoy music put together by people that are probably cunts.
Oh, absolutely. Oh,
right, without
a doubt. I'm going to play this U2 song because I was like, where the fuck is this U2 song sampled?
Yeah.
I couldn't work it out. I'll play this, and it's off Acting Baby. It's got Ultraviolet, brackets, Light My Way. And this little bit here, this is what he sampled. I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense, right? He sampled this very wishy-washy, soundscapey bit of a U2 song. But it wasn't until it got into the proper song in a couple of seconds' time, I was like, oh, this U2 song? That was the bit that made me go,
this is a fucking brilliant U2 song.
It is. It is. But this bit of it, why would you ever listen to this song and go, you know what, there's not enough of?
Yeah.
You know the bit I really like in this song? That intro, where it's a little bit kind of non-effectual.
Yeah.
But when it kicks in, I'm like, yeah, I know this song. Of course I know this song. Fucking Michael Cretu has gone,
at this point, the song's over for me. It peaked
You've
early.
Ruined this.
Yeah. No stars.
Absolutely bollocks. Yeah, just it really amused me that's the bit he thought, I'm having that. That's mine.
Well, that's that. Look, to be clear.
Yep.
Right. I don't hate it.
There wasn't as much invective as there could have been from you in that one.
No, I didn't hate that one.
Fine.
Didn't love it, obviously. But look, so this is the big one for this record. This is the 94 million plays.
Yes.
Fucking Return to Innocence, number one in how many? Well,
number one, for everywhere for a year, basically.
10 countries, I think it was number one in.
Yeah, first single, top 10 in 12 countries. Sold over 500,000 copies in the States. Went gold over there. It's their second biggest single after Sadness Part 1.
It's the one that everyone knows. It's the
Yeah.
I was listening to this in the car with Jenny the other day. And we were listening to it, and there was a kind of and then I just started fucking doing the vocal, and she went, I'm glad you did that because I want to join in. And we just both just went,
right.
Look, man, this fucking vocal here, this love, emotion, feeling, emotion, that can just fuck right off into the bin. It's horribly insipid. It's like sung in the worst kind of boy band-esque kind of Savage Garden fucking delivery.
Good,
the lyrics, love, emotion, feeling, emotion.
Honestly.
Fucking words.
Yeah.
Actual words.
Yeah, it's like a bad PowerPoint demonstration over some clouds.
Yeah. Look, this is a Disney song dressed up as spirituality. And it was used by fucking Disney, funnily enough.
It was the end of one of their films.
Yeah, it was on. I don't remember the film.
Yeah, but it was.
But look, it's got an undisputable catchiness.
Yes, it. Okay. Yep.
I mean, it samples fucking at the level when the levee breaks.
Exactly. This Led Zeppelin drum beat break is a classic break, and it's huge.
It's a difficult break to fuck up, right?
Yeah, it's a beast.
Give it a fucking go though, didn't they?
Yeah.
It's. I don't know, man. This song, it's got it's got a sensibility. It will go in the background. It's difficult to hate without being a curmudgeon, but for
Right.
me, it's embarrassing music for embarrassing people. It's middle managers on fucking ayahuasca, you know?
Okay, sure. No, that makes sense. I think that this bit, the wailing, and it's a tribe, the Amis tribe,
Yeah.
native to Taiwan. This is the bit that really fucking irks me. I think this is horrible, and it's very contrived. You know, this is oh my god, I'm so cool. I'm putting this on the song.
I agree with you, right? I do agree with you, but the counterpoint on that is he's heard this and gone, that's a fucking massive hook that they'll love.
Very
and he
much.
was right.
He was. Oh god, yeah. He made millions of pounds off this.
Yeah.
But for me, if you took that bit off, I actually don't think that some of the other bits are as bad. I think there's, almost like a Roxette power pop ballad behind it. If you take this bit
funnily
off.
enough, Roxette's in my mind as well, but I
yeah.
think part of it's that
Because there's an accent.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a European accent.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, right, you say he heard it and he released it and put it out and made £1 million, right? He spotted this. He absolutely did. He didn't ask for any credit, though. He just fucking heard it and went, "Oh, I love this."
Oh no, he was led to believe it was in the public domain,
Yes,
Krista.
yeah,
Your
that's
Honour.
yeah, exactly. Led to believe it. So the people who did actually sing it, they came after him in 1998, and a settlement outside of court was reached.
I mean, literally, I think you can translate it as, I didn't think these tribe people would know.
Exactly. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? This
song reached Taiwan, did it? Yeah. Exactly, and hopefully, because after 1998, after the settlement, the artists themselves, they were credited as part writers of the song. So I hope that they made a fucking ton of money, and I'm willing to wager they don't live in a tribe in Taiwan anymore. They've got a lovely house in Ibiza somewhere.
Well, you never know, man. Hopefully they're less money motivated and have done something nice for the
You
community.
never know. But there's a similar story behind Sadness Part 1, as we found out. Whenever he sampled the Gregorian chanting, he just took that and didn't ask for any credit, and then he had to settle out of court for that as well.
And that's kind of part of the entire rancor of this. For all of its fucking, hey man, we're all one, we're all together, we're all doing this. At the heart of it, there's a fucking rich white bloke taking what the fuck he wants.
Oh, totally is.
Right?
Yeah. Yep.
The whole thing smells inauthentic to me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's got someone called Angel X doing the main vocals, and then it's also got Michael Cretu's wife, Sandra
Cretu.
Sandra Cretu doing some of the little bit of vocals, and we saw her a lot on the first album. She did a lot, but not as much on this one.
Sandra Cretu just sounds like a Mighty Boosh character name.
Yeah, it does as well.
Yeah.
They divorced in 2007 anyway. So
I'm sure.
yeah, but I'm sure
I hope she took half of everything
quite.
and then had to hand it back to the Amos.
Yeah,
the Amos tribe.
Yeah. Obviously, you remember this from the time.
Of course.
Do you remember? Well, because I remember being very annoyed by it and going, "Oh, this is fucking dreadful." But then I pretty much blanked it out, because obviously looking through for this, it was in the charts forever, and it was on all the different TV things and the spots. But I don't remember much after first exposure to it.
But I think that's probably more reflective of where we're at in our
Oh
lives.
no, I suspect it was
became much
on purpose and.
Yeah, this is the thing. It's like this is the part of the podcast where I'm kind of acutely aware that as we get into the chart stuff in the podcasts now, I'm probably going to know less of it than I did.
Yeah, now we're at 94.
Because I'm like, well, head's just not there, looking at other things. And yeah, it's much easier to avoid this stuff if you're not listening to those radio stations, if you're not doing those things.
Yeah, and I saw that there's a video for it directed by Julian Temple, and there was Wikipedia or whatever said, and the video was on rotation forever and ever and ever. I don't think I've ever seen it in my life, but it's just.
I think I have seen it. Yeah. I've got a vague picture in my mind.
It's an old man and his life going backwards towards being born. That's it.
That kind of makes
return to innocence.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that irks me about this, right, is this single. There's a lot of press available for it because it was a big release.
It was.
And the fucking fawning that the contemporary music press fucking gave over this, and the credibility that they lent it. How do grown adults listen? I mean, I've got this note I've got later on, but as a music critic, how do you fucking listen to this and
I suppose
go, this is anything other than the lowest common hanging fruit?
Banal nonsense.
Lowest common hanging fruit. What's wrong with me?
You've just mixed it about 8 metaphors. Well done.
Well, fuck it. You know what I mean.
I don't know, man. I suspect some of it was just because it was relatively new.
You say that though, but look, we're 1994, okay? Like Summer of Love's what, 1988?
Yep.
Okay? Ibiza chill out music and kind of stuff for people to be coming down from pills on has existed, even if it only started then for 6 years.
Yeah.
Right? There's plenty of this stuff around, right? And if you're a music journalist, you should be aware of that.
True.
And
this is just the most commercial edge of it, I guess.
I just feel like there was, I don't know. I look at a lot of the journalism of that era and you're like, there was money behind this.
Oh, God, yeah. Yeah, the record company spent a ton of money on promo on this. Yeah. All right, well, look, first 3 songs.
Yeah.
Okay, first 3 songs. Let's say the first song doesn't count because it's just an intro. Then 2 singles. And how are you feeling so far?
I mean, I'm less offended by it than I was the first time around. But that's a law of diminishing returns to a degree. I listened to this album quite a few times.
Yeah.
It was inoffensive in the background, for the most part. Yeah. And those two are both that, apart from some of the wailing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that Return to Innocence does stand out. It sticks in your head more. But yeah, track 1, nothing. Track 2, pretty much bland nothing. Track 3, all right. Again, I think there's something in there, but it's overshadowed by the bits that annoy you.
Okay, right, let's do the albums.
Lovely. Okay, so the top 10 this week, and the date we're looking at is February 13th, 1994, so halfway through February. Top 10 looks like this. Number 10 is Marillion with Brave, a new entry.
I'm not sure I remember Brave. My prog friends will berate me.
I'm sure.
Marillion are so well loved, man.
Isn't it?
The
They
people,
really are.
the people that love them are
Massive.
like, this is the best fucking band in the world.
Yeah, but no, don't remember that at all. Number 9 is Chicago with The Heart of Chicago, it's just a best of. Number 8 is like another best of Diana Ross. Number 7, a best of Roberta Flack. Number 6, Chaka Davis and Pliers with Tease Me. Still in there, and I am enjoying that. We're still getting people on Twitter just quoting the "Oh dear,
oh dear."
Yeah, I'm glad that has become a thing. Number 5 is a new entry, Therapy Troublegum.
Yeah.
And so it never got to number 1. We don't have to do it in full at all. I remember it coming out, and I've said this many times, I remember being slightly disappointed because I didn't like the direction that Therapy were going. I know it was a lot of people's almost first entry to Therapy, and they love it. But for me, it didn't hold the same level of dirt and darkness that I wanted from Therapy.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. I mean, I was aware of Therapy from Scream Age. I'd never really listened to that record. This album came out with a lot of fanfare.
Yes, it did.
I listened to it. I heard, who the kind of the people, the bands that they liked were, the references, and it never caught me. I didn't give it a lot of listens.
No.
But it was just one of those things where I know so many people that this is their band. They love them. You know?
Yeah.
And when I say to people, like Stephen Hill, I was saying to Stephen Hill, I don't really care for this band. Gaz Jones as well.
Absolutely, yeah.
They look at me like I'm fucking insane.
Yeah.
And I've gone back and I've listened again, and I just
it falls between 2 bits for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not
it's
my one.
It's not Helmet, and it's not. I guess the Manics at their best.
Right,
Do you know what I mean? It's I don't know. It doesn't land with me, man. No. I wish it did. I'd always rather like something, but don't get it.
Number 5 anyway. So to be honest, I'm impressed that it got to number 5 because that's for a little band from Northern Ireland, that's pretty good going. Well done, the boys. Number 4,
great bunch of lads.
A great bunch. Number 4, Garth Brooks in Pieces. Number 3, Mariah Carey, Music Box, and number 2, Tori Amos, Under the Pink. So a good few that we've done already in there.
I will say, Andy Cairns has always seemed like a fucking lovely bloke.
Definitely, and I mean, he especially, I'm sure that the others do as well, really know their music. And I mean, they're massive music fans. So it's not like they are going, oh, well, we'll just do this because it'll sell. They fucking love music.
Yeah, so I've got no great antipathy towards them. I just, it's not for me.
No. Okay, other albums. And what I've done here, because this is only a 1 week album, but after this was number 1, Mariah Carey went back to number 1 for 4 weeks. So what I've done is I've taken the first 2 weeks of that period, and then the next one we do, I've put 2 weeks on there. So I've got February 13th to March the 5th. So here's what I've got here. Pavement released Crooked Rain, Crooked Rain.
Yep.
New entry at number 15. And I remember that being a very big deal in the music press. Pavement, I remember the first thing coming out, the Trigger Cut single off their first album. But there was then this kind of wave, this sort of little swell of support for them.
Yep.
And when Crooked Rain came out, it was a big deal. I bought it day of release. I remember thinking that the big single Cut Your Hair was really good fun.
Yeah.
But I wasn't into the rest of this album.
I went and saw him this year at Reading. Reading '94. I think possibly in the video for it. I was in the signing line when they were
filming that.
But yeah, I mean, I kind of dabbled with Pavement here and there. Never been one of my big bands, but again, nothing against them.
No, and I know that they have kind of come back very recently and done a load of shows, and people are swooning over it. So great. Happy for you.
It was certainly an archetype, wasn't it? It was
definitely. Yeah.
You know, if you thought of a certain kind of American kind of college rock, you know, pre-Weezer,
a bit weird.
Pavement were your...
Yeah, that's a touchstone.
Yeah.
Definitely. Stabbing Westward released their debut, Ungod.
Yeah, I never really got into Stabbing Westward. They're one of those bands that had always remixed stuff by bands that I liked.
That's true as well. There's always like stuff.
The Stabbing Westward remix. And it's like, okay.
You got Dark Throne with Transylvanian Hunger.
Yeah, I mean, look, man, fucking black metal is a bit of, it's not a mystery to me because that suggests that I don't understand it. Not really for me.
In that case, because you've also got Craig LaFilth with their debut, Principle of Evil Made Flesh, Enslaved with their debut, Vikingliger Veldi, potentially.
Fucking Enslaved are Enslaved are not really that kind of, they're not really a black metal band and haven't been for quite a while. From Ruin onwards, I think Enslaved are a fucking great band.
Okay, cool.
Well, I say great. I'm not an obsessive, but
great bits.
But they've got some really great bits, great songs, some fucking good riffs, and some good grind.
And Emperor released In the Nightside Eclipse.
Yeah.
So this
it's a
3-week period.
What's going on with black metal at the moment?
Fuck knows, man. But then we've also got Bitty McLean with Just to Let You Know.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, not black metal.
No. MC Hammer with The Funky Headhunter.
Yeah.
Never heard of it.
I don't think I've heard of that.
1994.
Should we listen to it?
No.
Okay.
KMFDM with Naive and Hell to Go.
Another band that did all the remixes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Deep Forest released their self-titled album, Deep Forest, which got to number 17 because Enigma existed. That's why Deep Forest was a thing.
Deep Forest Kelly.
Beck released Stereopathetic Soul Manure, which is one of the ones he did because we're going to see very soon Mellow Gold. And so this was one of the ones on another label that he was putting stuff out all the time. So this is the first one that I saw came up for him.
No, I've not ever heard that. I don't think I was aware it existed.
No, me neither. Bark Psychosis released Hex, and I remember them being talked about in a kind of a bit sort of proggy indie way.
Yeah, I mean, I remember the name in music papers,
exactly.
but I don't remember.
Sultans of Ping released Teenage Drug, which was I'm guessing their second album because 94 would be their second one, and I don't think it did very well.
Oh, I can't imagine.
No. Celine Dion released The Colour of My Love, and I'm mentioning this because it went in at number 10, and we're going to have to do it because it got to number 1, but it didn't get to number 1 until 1995. So it's in the next season.
That's a technical exclusion then.
It's mental. It's like, okay, this is released February of 94, but doesn't get to number 1 until 95.
Out of interest, just as an outside, do we know what The Colour of Her Love was?
Pink.
I
think Tori Amos
was
on that one. But the last one I've got, and I've put it on because I'm a massive fan, is Low's first album, I Could Live in Hope.
Okay, I didn't realise they were putting out records out
February 94, yeah. And I didn't know Low when this was released. I saw them for the first time whenever I visited New York in the summer of 1994. I saw them play a gig there, and they just absolutely blew me away instantly. Just a huge convert. I didn't have access to getting their album when I was out there. I found it in HMV, probably later 94, maybe even early 95. But I was telling everyone, whenever I came back from my holiday, I was telling all my friends, this band called Low are amazing. And I Could Live in Hope is their debut, and it stands alone a little bit in the terms of sound because it's so underproduced, even for Low, right? Even for a band who are the quietest thing you ever heard. This album doesn't have anything else except for those 3 members doing their thing. And it's beautiful and it's glorious. It's not my favourite of theirs, but I think as a kind of a calling card of where you're going to go and an introduction to your band, I think it is just brilliant.
Check them out, people.
Absolutely brilliant.
Check them out.
But yeah, that's all I've got albums this week. So let's get back into Enigma, I guess.
Oh, sorry, mate. I've just had a phone call.
Oh, is the alarm going off?
Yeah, somewhere? I've got it's a childcare issue.
Classic.
So track 4 is called I Love You, I'll Kill You.
And this is the longest song on the album at nearly 9 minutes.
Okay, look, I'm just gonna fucking put my cards on the table immediately, right?
Yep.
Everything about this is embarrassing.
Oh, right.
Everything about this. The
Okay.
fucking title, the lyrics.
The title's awful.
I love you. I'll kill you.
It was like someone taking the piss.
Mate, honestly, it's fucking Perfume ad bad.
Right.
You know, like,
Oh, yes. I love you. I'd kill you.
the lyrics, I see love, I see passion, I feel danger, I feel obsession
Yeah.
by my perfume. Do you know what I mean?
God, it is.
It's about as edgy as 50 Shades of fucking Grey, man. This is fucking music for librarians and cardigans to masturbate to. It's horrible.
Right.
And the sexy guitar in it, man. Jesus Christ.
Oh, but there's the guitar solo that just weaves in and out is awful. The first one that comes in is terrible. I mean, we're about to get a Black Sabbath sample coming in here. That is from The Wizard. That's a Black Sabbath, The Wizard, which is an amazing song. But again, Michael Cretu has got the Midas touch of taking a really good song sampled and making it fucking
It's
dreadful.
like the opposite of hip hop, isn't it? It's like
Right, yeah.
it's like, oh, let's get the best bit of the song, loop it so we can hear it, and we'll base the song around this. It's like, well, let's get an innocuous bit
Yeah.
that has really nothing to do with the foundation
Make
song.
it shit.
Yeah. Here we are. We've got this fucking prick fucking talking again. Yeah, like, I feel obsession. It's awful, man. You know, you've got this kind of like breathy, kind of breakbeaty, like not even breakbeat. We've got this fucking horrible, like fucking wood block in the background as well. It's doing nothing. It's very much mistaking doing nothing for being smoky and jazzy and
Right.
cool.
Okay. Sure.
And this guitar, man, this to me, like, I've just got such a vivid picture in my head of this, right? This guy playing whoever is doing the guitar here, right? It's just like you're at a school concert, right?
Yeah.
You're at a school concert. The kids have been doing their thing. There's a song going on, and then all of a sudden, there's one teacher. He's probably a CDT teacher. He's like normally dressed pretty down, right?
Right.
But everyone knows he likes playing the guitar.
Has he got a ponytail?
Yeah, he's got a ponytail.
Yeah.
He comes out through the glittery curtain. He's got a pair of leather trousers on that he shouldn't have on.
Sure. Yeah.
And then he plays this.
Amazing.
Right? And he's got a look on his face. And at the end of it, everyone goes, "Oh, that's so good, sir. That's so good, sir." And it's like, in that moment, brilliant. It's a lovely moment for this individual.
Yeah.
But it should not be on a fucking record in 1994, right?
It's terrible, and it's such kind of fake profundity going through the whole thing.
God, it's so
and the straight
embarrassing.
face of the whole thing, the lyrics and the guitar, the whole sound of it is someone really taking themselves too seriously, and making us have to take him or try and take him seriously as well.
Yeah, this is, it's just like empowered by money and self-importance, right?
Yeah. That's a Robert Plant sample there.
Take it back.
Yeah,
it's
from the Battle of Evermore.
Yeah.
It's another great song. Oh yeah, we've made it worse.
And then this does the thing that other song did. It kind of finishes in the middle and then starts again, right?
Because again, this is a 9-minute song. 9 minutes.
Yeah.
This goes on forever.
Yeah, look, man, this is...
We're not even halfway through.
After you get the break...
Yeah.
All right, just fucking move it forward.
All right, let's skip. So yeah,
we get fucking 2 minutes of this awful sub-fucking Yngwie Malmsteen fucking guitar screeching, right? And that's insulting Yngwie Malmsteen. Right?
Yeah.
Look into the mirror of your soul.
God. Yeah, look into the mirror of your soul. Love
Just
and
look
hate
in a
our own.
fucking mirror, cunt.
Mate.
Stop this.
Yeah, and tie your hair back.
How an adult listens to this and takes it seriously is utterly beyond me.
But I bet I can really picture some people, especially when that drum beat comes in, just going, oh yeah, that's the one.
Just some fucking bloke in the middle of his fucking like chicken parfait at a fucking dinner party. He's been just talking about the provenance of the ingredients, and he just stops and goes, "Hang on, oh yeah,
oh."
It's like you know like
listen for the drum.
You know, like the smug episodes of South Park.
Oh right, yeah.
It's just
it's
just this
awful.
fucking collective bullshit. It makes me angry at the culture.
Right. Well, It should do, and at this point we still have 3 minutes left. It just does more of this.
It's this fucking guitar,
Right.
and then it kind of goes into like a minute of worth of percussion at the end, as it kind of gradually melds into the next track.
I'll just fucking skip a layer away. Here. Boom, boom, boom. And yeah, we just had another Led Zeppelin drum beat from the Crunge.
Yeah.
Great drum beat. Brilliant, classic De La Soul for the Magic Number. Beat on there, wonderful. On here, just horrible.
Right,
so we finally got to the end of I Love You, I'll Kill You Anyway.
Okay. Yeah, sorry. I found myself, actually, the funny thing is, when I was writing my notes for this earlier, right, I've listened to this record a few times, but this is one where you really have to sit down and write your notes and listen to it.
Right.
Normally, when I sit down to write my notes, I've got things that I've thought, and I'll listen to it back, and that'll go, oh, that was that thought I had, and it will come back to me. Whereas this, there was less of that.
Oh, I see. Right.
But what I did find is during the second half of that song and Silent Warrior, instead of it taking the 15 minutes that the two songs should have taken to listen to, it took me about 35, 40 minutes because I kept somewhere in the middle of the second song starting to do something else, getting sidetracked and just forgetting that I was doing it.
Sure.
I mean, I've got ADHD. I'm used to that.
Right.
But then I'd be like, oh no, so I
is
had
this
to fucking
amplified
keep going back. Yeah. Anyway, so that's that one.
All right. Well, you said
Awful.
Silent Warrior's the next one, track number 5.
Yeah, let's just make sure we do know we're on record as how bad that song is.
Oh,
though.
awful. Yeah. Awful. Yeah.
So here's Silent Warrior. Let's be honest, this doesn't do anything for a minute and 30 seconds.
Yes.
Just this.
Yes. This is a 6-minute song. Right. Thank you, Michael Cretu.
It's a 4.5 minute song with this at the start.
Indeed. But it's worth noting, I think, that whenever Michael Cretu does some of the lyrics himself on this album, he credits himself as Curly MC.
Oh, I got MC Curly here.
That's one of the worst MC names I've ever heard.
Yeah, awful.
Dreadful.
So here we are, starting getting a bit kind of housey.
Yeah.
We've got the thing. And it's going to get, I would say, in a second, how?
In a sec. We're now at 50 seconds.
Oh, we've got another 25 seconds to go, I'll say.
I mean, the other thing that I thought of this was the Phil Collins In the Air Tonight drum beat.
I've got Phil Collins reference in here as well.
Oh, but the drums, I think, because I've got Phil Collins on the vocals as well.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, very much. I think this whole album's got a touch of Collins about it.
Yeah, well, he's sampling Genesis.
Yeah.
And he's sampling the really tinny drum bits of Genesis for some reason.
So look, gets a bit Phil Collins here, right?
Right.
Vocally, and also in that kind of issues-based rock.
Oh, yeah.
White man comes and he's done these things, right?
Yes.
And obviously, it's a reasonable sentiment. Talking about colonialism and people coming away and wiping away culture, but this is a very on-the-nose take on it, isn't it?
Oh, I mean, Silent Warrior for a start. But yeah, does this also remind you a little bit of Cry Little Sister from The Lost Boys?
Yes, it does.
Yeah,
very much so. Yeah. I haven't written that down, but now you've said it.
I'm sure. But yeah, this is Collins. Like, I'm telling you now.
Yeah.
Oh, that.
Yeah, and you got that kind of like that little slave drum, and then here this comes, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if I hate this.
Oh, really?
Reason tells
melodrama
tells me I should.
Right.
But here's the thing, right? This whole song to me,
yep,
it feels like I don't know if you catch my reference here, but if you've ever been to one of these like kind of like outdoor shows, right, where you go and you kind of sit in an amphitheater. It's like a natural amphitheater, and there's a big show going on with sound and lights, and there's fireworks at the end.
Yeah,
that's what this is. Isn't it?
Sure. No. Yeah. Absolutely. Yes. And it could be over footage of natural disasters and the lesson
or a
learned.
war going on.
No, I get that.
And look, it's fucking naff, right?
Yes.
There's no.
Yes.
It's naff as fuck, right? But I tell you what, it has got some of the overwroughtness that I warm to in Big Silly Power Ballads.
Okay. Right. Yep.
It's got some of those characteristics, and on multiple listens of this, I can't work out which side of the line of self-importance and pomp and ridiculousness it sits on.
Right. I think we both know it's on the wrong side, but that sometimes is the right side.
Exactly, right? You know, if you're John Bonham, it's
Yeah.
the right side.
Yeah.
Not John Bonham, sorry. If you're fucking...
John Farnham.
John Farnham, yeah.
Yeah.
If you're John Farnham, it's the right side. And I don't think this maybe goes quite far enough, but
Okay.
also goes too far in other directions. But it's the first hint of something on an Enigma album that I've gone, I don't know if I'm completely opposed to this.
Right. There is a definite catchy tune to his vocals on this. And what I've written, I prefer this to the really sappy panpipe stuff that we know he's capable
Yep.
of. It's stupid and clanging and on the nose, but it could be a lot worse.
I think we're in the same place.
Yeah. Yeah, this isn't awful.
Yeah.
It's not good.
Well,
But-
it also,
It could be a lot worse.
you know, it shows the seed of something.
Okay.
And like that
No, exactly. This vocal line
Yeah.
is decent. And there's a ridiculous, impassioned thing
Yeah.
behind it, which, I'm like, okay, cool.
yeah. He's on stage, he's waving
Oh,
a flag, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, there's probably some bagpipes going to come in a minute.
There's some imagery of the Berlin Wall falling
Oh,
behind.
absolutely,
Yeah.
you have, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I could do without all of the kind of like the sounds of the jungle.
Yeah, and also the lyrics are so fucking cringy. You know, that there's no god who ever tried to change the world in this way, because it's about the white man coming in and taking land and
Oh, the
stealing.
lyrics
you know.
are fucking appalling.
But it's like, for the ones who abuse God's name, there'll be no chance to escape on Judgment Day.
White man comes. Mate.
Mate,
That one.
really over the top.
Anyway.
But no, this is all right. There's bits of this that are okay.
I know.
Yeah, which is
Kind of hurts, doesn't
It
it?
really does.
It does hurt a little bit.
Right.
However,
Right, I said this could be a lot worse. And I'll tell you what's worse.
oh yeah.
Track number 6.
I mean, let's just take a minute.
Uh-huh.
If you haven't looked ahead, if you haven't done a reading ahead, brace yourselves.
Yeah.
If you don't know what this next track is called, then we make a lot of bad jokes in this podcast, and this isn't one of them.
No.
The next track is called The Dream of the Dolphin. Dream of the fucking dolphin,
Fucking
Krista.
a dream of the dolphin.
And here comes Flipper.
This is an actual song name or an actual album.
Oh, look, he's got his little head out. Thankfully, this one isn't 9 minutes long.
No, that's true.
He wouldn't have been able to breathe for that long
For
out of the
that-
water.
yeah. No, this is only 2 minutes 47.
Oh, there he is. Woo, 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 the sound of the dolphin.
Sake, mate.
Oh, hang on. Yep, he has learned to play the piano. What a clever cunt.
Well done. Well done.
Look.
And the only lyrics in this, because it's mostly instrumental, is it, in every colour there's the light, in every stone sleeps a crystal. Remember the shaman when he used to say, man is the dream of the dolphin.
Remember the shaman when he
Fuck.
used to say, naughty, naughty, very naughty. I mean, this
Oh
is
my
definitely a
God.
joke, right?
Has
Isn't
to
it?
be. Why would you ever do this?
What is wrong with you? What if you're Michael Crichton? You went, oh, actually, I've read this thing. Yeah, remember, man is just the dream of the dolphin.
That is profound. It is. It's one of those things that your dickhead stoner mates will try and go, no, man, this is, just think of it this way.
Yeah, you know, like we're just imagine, you know, like we're just the germs in somebody else's universe. We're just on someone's fingertip, man.
Oh, Jesus Christ, man. Yeah, just go in the kitchen and stay there.
Yeah, just fuck off, man. Like, I mean, I'm glad you're enjoying your psychedelic drugs.
Yeah.
I've chosen not to take any today, so if you could just keep that to yourself.
Please.
The thing about drugs is they're only any good if you're taking them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
And I hope the whole thing is like a mistranslation or something, because surely nobody would write this on porpoise.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
I'm about to flip out.
Hey!
That one was a bit on the bottlenose, wasn't it?
Hey!
I'm going to school you on something.
Hope you've finished.
School?
No.
Come on.
Yeah, sure.
School of Dolphins.
Right.
School of Dolphins.
This is what this does. This is 2.5 minutes of this fucking bullshit nonsense. Take this off. Take this straight off the record.
I mean,
Awful.
this is not a song that a human should have made. This is a fucking demo. What is this? This is
It's a dream of a dolphin, mate.
this is on a #1 album
I know.
in the same year. Oh no, year after In Utero.
Yeah, indeed. The week after Tori Amos. And, you know, she had some impenetrable lyrics, but she didn't write a song about the dream of a dolphin.
Oh my fucking tits.
Right.
Let's do the singles.
Yeah, right. We're two-thirds of the way through. Let's see what the singles are
The
saying
dream
to
of
us.
the dolphin.
No, don't.
Are you fucking mad?
Christ's sake. Do you reckon he ever performed that one live?
Yeah, at SeaWorld.
Did the crowd go, "What, this one? Yeah!"
Shamu. He all could be ashamed of himself.
Oh, yeah. There it is. That's the one. Oh, no.
Oh, fuck my life.
Oh, dear. Right. All right, let's do these singles. Top 10 of this week. Number 10 is Reel to Reel, featuring the Mad Stuntman with I Like to Move It, Move It.
Yeah.
And we had someone contacted us on email to say one of the reasons that it was so notorious and it was such a big hit was because, like, some, housewife had noticed that he says something like pussy hole or blood clot or something on the B-side version of it and was hugely offended, wrote to, who knows, Points of View, Daily Mail, something like this, and so there was a notoriety about it, and this is why it became so popular.
It was Adam Walsack that wrote it.
Oh, Adam, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Adam, for coming in. Right? The line was, "Girl, your pussy is so fine, sit your ass on my face." He says he paraphrases actually.
Oh, right, okay.
But yeah, I mean, again, I love a bit of parental outrage that makes something go massive.
Oh, exactly.
It's like the Out Here Brothers remix when everyone's like,
"Oh my god,
can you
can't say that."
They say that. Do you remember the O Carolina Ras Bumper Club?
Oh,
mix?
absolutely. It's on the B side of the 12-inch.
Absolutely.
Yep. Number 9 is a new entry for 2 Unlimited with Let the Beat Control Your Body. And we're going to have to deal with 2 Unlimited later this season as well.
For fuck's sake, Enigma and 2 Unlimited.
Both their second albums.
I'll tell you what this is like, man. This is like a Batman sequel where he gets more than one of the baddies at once.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
It's like,
They've come back in force.
He couldn't deal with the Joker on his own or Catwoman, but now it's the Joker and Catwoman.
Oh my God. Yeah, we're going to have to live with that at some point later, but that's down the line. Number 8 is Bryan Adams, Sting and Rod Stewart. They're still there. Number 7 is a new entry, and I'm going to play it even though I've done this before. I've played it and gone, you won't know the song, you might remember the artist, and it's tough to get the artist on this. Because it sounds like all of these things.
Yeah, and the thing is, this is a problem. At the time, I might have been able to tell you what this was, but I feel like I've categorised all of this stuff into one bin called Not For Me, Thanks.
Yeah, and this does sound like their other ones. Like this particular keyboard sound sounds like their other ones. It's Capella, with Move On Baby, a song I do not remember one bit, but it does sound like Capella. Yeah. Anyway, so that's kind of the only other new entry, if I'm honest. The rest is number 6, Aretha Franklin, Deeper Love. Number 5, Celine Dion, The Power of Love. 4, Enigma's Return to Innocence in the charts as we speak. Number 3, Toni Braxton, Breathe Again. Number 2, D-Ream, Things Can Only Get Better. And number 1 is Mariah Carey, Without You.
Yeah.
So that's why she's obviously going to go back to number 1 forever after we finish this week. So other stuff that was out this week, because there's a few of these actually, not bad stuff. I really like this song. We've talked about them as a greatest hits band. And I think was it Andrew Bird who gave us a little soundbite for our best album of 93? Yeah. This was his favourite album of 93. This got to number 12.
Yeah.
All right, it's called Locked Out.
Yeah, I can remember what the name of the song was. Obviously, it's your man Finn and his band Crowded House.
Crowded House, there you go.
So it's just one of those things where I knew it, I just couldn't find the...
Yep, that's Crowded House with Locked Out. And I think that's a really good little single. Like I say, I think they've got fantastic singles, really do. I'll put this next one on, and I'm pretty much going to guarantee you don't know it, but I'll put it on because this is ridiculous. Only got to number 27. And this is a band that we have done an album of before.
Jerking me.
Oh, this is ringing a bell?
No. We've done an album by them.
We've done an album from this band, this act.
Hang on. Is it New Kids on the Block?
Yes, it is.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah, it's well, as they were going by NKOTB at this point. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll never tell you what this is, but yeah.
Right.
I can see that it's New Kids on the Block. I was like, okay, what bad swing groups have we done?
Oh yeah.
Right, okay.
It's called Dirty Dog.
Dirty Dog. I fucking remember this song.
Do you?
Dog, dirty dog, dog, dirty dog. That's how it goes, isn't it? I fucking remember this.
Not even slightly got this in my memory at all.
Yeah, that is how the chorus goes,
All
though, right?
Let's find out. Let's skip to the chorus.
Told ya. Motherfucker, I knew it.
My God. Mate, fair play.
I mean,
Wow. No.
Look, man. This doesn't sound that bad.
Yeah, that's because we're listening to Enigma. Oh, man. Okay. Only got to number 27, so they're on the way out. NKOTB.
Well, I mean, they're trying to hit it with like a 1990 sound, aren't they?
Oh, very much. Yeah, they're trying to keep up, but by this point, no one's going, oh, I hope New Kids on the Block are still keeping up with the trends.
But if they put a show on tomorrow in an arena, it would sell out.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Instantly, yeah. St. Etienne released Pale Movie, got to number 28. Not a great song, if you ask me. This one got to number 31, and I'm putting this on because I know, similarly, right, we have friends who love this band, never understood, and we've talked about this before, how it just didn't fucking catch. But there are people with tattoos.
Wild Hearts?
Yeah, the Wild Hearts. This is Caffeine Bomb. This is one of the big ones for them.
For me, it sits in that kind of like punky rock that is neither fish nor flesh for me.
Yeah.
It's a specific sound, and people that are into it fucking love it.
Yeah. People call him like one of England's greatest songwriters, Ginger Wildheart.
Yeah.
This sounds like every other band that did this thing.
Yeah, I mean,
whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't want to diss it because just because I don't get it doesn't mean it's bad, but I don't get it.
Yeah, I never cared. But, I remember going to Reading in 1994, and probably the T-shirt I saw most there was a Wild Hearts T-shirt.
Huge.
People were fucking all over it.
Absolutely.
Our friend Darren, who we'll get to in the Twitter comments.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that. Fucking loved them.
Yeah.
Loved them. I never got it, man.
No, totally. Whatever. Anyway, Sinead O'Connor released You Made Me the Thief of Your Heart, which only got to number 42.
Okay.
Sultans of Ping released Wake Up and Scratch Me, which only got to number 50. So this is off that album that we talked about.
Yeah.
Number 50 for them. That's the slide out of consciousness.
Well, Sultans of Ping. I mean, I would imagine it'd be fucking chuffed with 50 these days.
Oh, these days, of course they would. But yeah, they were doing top 20s. And then suddenly they're not. David Lee Roth released She's My Machine.
She's My Machine.
Yeah, only got number 64.
I mean, geez, there is. We could do I tell you, we could do a whole podcast if we were a different type of podcast about the solo albums that these kind of late 80s fading rockers put out around this era of the 90s. Because there was some shocking stuff that came out around it. We're getting into the era after fucking Bruce left Maiden and they started doing the stuff with Blaze Bayley.
Sure.
Like Bruce Dickinson's solo albums, like Dave Lee Roth solo albums, fucking Generation Swine by Motley Crue.
Well,
all of this.
All of the Guns N' Roses ones. Various solos.
There wasn't that much of those though.
Was there not at that time?
Not really. I mean, you had
fucking Juju Hounds.
Yeah, but that was earlier. Juju Hounds was kind of as he left, and so that was like about 2 years previously. Yeah. So I guess you had like the SVO Snake Pit / his very own Snake Pit record, and Duff McKagan had a record and stuff.
Exactly.
But it was like these kind of these people that had been enormous stars in the world just putting out these records.
Did Joe Elliott do one?
I mean, I would imagine so. I mean, well, fucking Def Leppard did a couple.
Such ill-advised releases those were.
Yeah.
David Lee Roth there. Whiteout released the No Time EP, got to number 79, and the only reason I put that in is because I remember them being talked about. They were released on Creation Records, and they were talked about as, the Creation's back with a brand new band, and they're fantastic. Everyone's going to love Whiteout. And the only two songs I can remember by them are dull as hell, really fucking dull. But Creation was like putting this big thing behind them, and then almost immediately, about 2 months after, Creation released Oasis, and Whiteout were never talked about again.
They were erased from history.
Hey, there you go.
Tiff-X'd out.
There you go.
I tell you, funnily enough, our mate Cliff put up a thing on social media earlier about bad. He saw a couple of really bad named covers bands.
Oh yeah,
a lump.
Oh, Lump Busket.
Lump Busket, yeah. And something else, and it just kind of my wife working that way. And I went, do you know what I want to do? I want to release like an album of like really kind of methed out grindcore covers of Oasis songs, and I want to call it Definitely Rabies.
Oh, lovely. Okay, right, nice. I like it. I'm gutted. I made a joke on our Twitter account about the Chakademus and Pliers ones, where we were going to have a tribute act called the Chakademus Impliers.
Brilliant.
And I think that's fantastic. And fucking
that.
no one liked it. Yeah. Twitter, god damn it. Anyway, so Whiteout, fucking what? Just also Rands, but their career was almost immediately over.
I bet they're bitter.
Oh, sure. This one, I really like this, and this got played in loads of kind of indie clubs, but as a single, it didn't get like high in the charts or anything.
I like that.
Oh, this is fun. This is Corduroy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is London, England, and I remember this getting played in loads of clubs.
Have I just fucking admitted to like an acid jazz record on the record?
Uh-oh.
Delete that, please.
But this is nice. It's good fun.
Yeah. Don't like those church bells, though.
It's London, England. It's that thing. Ding, ding, ding.
Oh no, that's horrible. Rimpy dimpy, doing the lamb of folk. Hey,
Rimpy dimpy. I think that's one of the Oompa Loompas.
Yeah.
We've got Suede released "Stay Together," which got to number 3. But obviously we've. Oh no, that wasn't on the first album. Was it?
This is on
That's on Dogman Star.
Do we have to do that?
No, didn't get to number 1.
Oh, I'm surprised I didn't get to number 1.
This one, no, this got to number 20.
Come on.
Yeah,
Spoon Man by Soundgarden.
Absolutely. First single off that Super Unknown album.
Oh, what a fucking record.
Yeah, terrific. So, it got to number 20, and the album never got to number 1, so we don't have to do the whole thing. But who knows? Another one released in this time that I fucking loved. This only got to number 80 in the charts.
Is this Afghan Wigs?
Yes, it is Afghan Wigs. This is Debonair.
Sounds an awful lot like Michael Jackson, doesn't it? Yes, it does.
Then this comes in. Yeah, this is wonderful, this song. Absolutely brilliant.
Oh man, that riff's fucking great.
Yeah, it's just... and you know there's going to be some horrible lyrics coming in a minute. Yeah. Really nicely put together. But yeah, fucking number 80 in the charts. Whatever.
Well, fucking people, let's look at what's number 1 this week.
Quite. Right, now this single, this only got to number 51.
Oh, Sepultura. It's Refuse Resist.
Refuse Resist. Sepultura. What a fucking tune. Yeah, I mean, obviously the album had been out the previous year, but this was released as a single at this point.
We've seen him on the word. Fuck it up. Fucking brilliant.
What a band. Yeah.
This, I swear to God, man, it's the greatest travesty of heavy metal of the last 20 years is the fact that these motherfuckers couldn't get their shit together.
I know, man.
They were on the cusp of being just a fucking headliner.
Oh, sure. And they would have been dominating. Yeah.
I think if they could have just made it to one more album, that they'd have cemented it.
Yeah.
But oh well.
Never mind. Yeah. Brilliant.
KRCD.
Brilliant. Okay, so that one got to number 51, and then the last one I got, and we've mentioned it in the albums, or we mentioned him in the albums, but this is off the other album.
Okay. Ding.
So yeah, as a single, this came out, and this was number 15 as a single.
Sorry, Loser by Beck.
Loser by Beck, exactly.
What a track this is.
This really fucking floored me whenever I first heard it. I was like, this is one of the coolest things I ever
This thing, this still gets me every time, man.
Yeah.
I still dance this in a club when was I in a club.
Yeah, exactly. Were it to happen...
I still dance this if I'm in the kitchen eating a club.
There you are. Yeah, great song. I do remember whenever I bought Mellow Gold, which wasn't till about a year after this, I was slightly disappointed with the album as a whole because it didn't have just this, variations on this. It was a load of different bits.
Yeah.
Some really good points, but overall I was like, oh, okay, this is fine.
I think Mellow Gold. I think that's faint praise a little bit for
very
Mellow
possibly.
Gold. I think Odelay is the superior record.
Sure.
For those things. I mean, my favourite of that era of Beck is Midnight Vultures.
Oh, okay,
I fucking love Midnight Vultures, but
it's a big Prince fan.
Yeah, obviously, yeah. But Beck, I love Beck when he does his kind of bombastic kind of pop thing.
Uh-huh.
But I like him better, I would say, stripped down and acoustic.
My favourite album of his, and one of my favourite albums of all time, is Sea Change.
Yeah. See, I
stunning.
Similar, but Mutations.
Fine, yeah. Absolutely incredible. Yeah, heartbreaking and wonderful, but then he's also got that flip side where he does a bit of hip-hop with a twangy guitar.
Yeah.
Good man. All right, there's your singles. Not as much death metal in the singles as there was in the albums anyway.
Well, black metal.
Black metal, beg your pardon. Don't... write to me, please.
No, please do. I'm Krista. His home address is...
All right. Well, look, we've got 3 more songs on this Enigma album that we need to do.
Well, I mean, it's debatable, isn't it?
Yeah, true.
So the next one is called "The Age of Loneliness," Carly's song. Okay.
Right, and this was the 3rd single in August of '94, and it got to number 21.
Look, my comment on this one, right, is haven't we had this one? Isn't this just
right,
the first fucking song again?
It's with more wailing. Oh, it does. We do have a reappearance of the sample from the intro.
Yeah.
Yes, it does come back. It's like, all right, we're doing this again.
Yeah, it's it's deep new age housey bollocks, isn't it? Really,
yeah. It was originally written for the erotic thriller Sliver.
Well, there you go. And that tells you, if you've ever seen the film Sliver, these two things definitely exist in the same same cinematic universe, don't they?
Exactly. You know, this is what Michael Cretu would watch. It's like polished and sleek with no soul at all.
Yeah, this to me answers the question: what would Massive Attack sound like if they'd all had serious strokes?
Right. Brilliant. Yep. There you go. I struggle to think of anything interesting or funny to say about this because
it's utterly anonymous.
Bollocks. There's some more sultry whispered vocals in it. We've got this wailing going on. There's some more panpipes come in a little bit.
Yeah, look, it's fucking this is library music. This is the kind of music you want to put out a fucking YouTube video. Right, you need some free, like copyright-free music.
Oh, right, yes.
This is what you use, right?
Absolutely.
This should not be number 1.
No.
This
is a fucking single.
There's fucking Monks again in a minute as well.
Yeah, indeed. He didn't learn his lesson from getting sued before.
Yeah, and here's that do-do-do-do-do. That bit, that kind of little keyboard bit that almost sounds a little bit like "Don't Make Me Wait" by on the bass.
Okay.
Which is fucking prevalent in the first record as well.
Yeah, I remember we talked about that in the first one, yeah.
This sounds very much like a man that's run out of ideas. As did all of the first record.
Yeah, or the record company went, you know that one idea you've got? Do that again.
Yeah, because this was the first single, wasn't it?
No, this is the 3rd single.
The third single.
But it was still a single.
Yeah, this is dog shit.
It's awful.
This is one of the worst things on a bad album. I'm amazed they released this as a single.
And it's 5 minutes long before it stops.
Okay, well, let's stop talking about it.
Okay. Right. So track 8, which is called
Out From the Deep.
Right.
Sorry, I just cut you off there.
No,
that was rude.
All good.
Didn't mean to.
Out From the Deep. And this one apparently was going... This was released as a 4th single, but it didn't chart in the UK. Okay. But there's a video for it and everything.
Breathy and blippy here.
Yes.
And then there's a moment where you go, oh, hang on a minute. Is he doing the Beatles?
Exactly. That's Dear Prudence.
Yeah.
And I looked up it. I looked on who sampled. Not credited as a sample or as an interpolation. Not credited at all for Dear Prudence. But that's Dear Prudence. Yeah. That's criminal. Also, I tell you what this sounds like a little bit to me. Okay. And I'll get nailed by people that are bigger fans. And I am a fan myself, but this has got a bit of a Jesus Jones feel to it. Oh, interesting. I can hear that because, yeah, if they're more kind of laid back ones. Yeah. Right. Now, God. I mean, the vocal reminds me at times of Freddie Mercury in Innuendo. That sort of big, powerful thing. That sounds like Jesus Jones. Right, yeah, okay. And then, yeah, it's like breathy bit under here. Okay. Cards on the table. Yep. I don't mind this. I really like this. Yeah. I think this is very good. Yeah. I do. Everything about this is in the right place. Yep. And it does it really well. It's a song. Look, I don't love it, but in a sea of excrement, a puke-coloured dinghy is your friend, right? There you are, right. Covered, should I say. It's got a bit of the Chemical Brothers about it in places as well, like some of the, like when you hear the break come through it. There's a big break in it. It's the Ashley's Roach Trip drum beat, which you'd know from like Eric B. and Rakim's Paid in Full, P and Dawn, etc. It works really well on this. Yeah, I think it does as well.
Yeah.
And this, to me, really, this makes me think of seeing them live and this being the final song and the fireworks going off and that sort of stuff. Everyone arms in the air.
Yeah, this is a song.
Yes.
It's a song, it's got resonance, it's got some passion, it builds. This is head and shoulders the best thing on either of these two records.
Oh, absolutely.
Head and shoulders.
Absolutely.
I feel like I've almost I've looking at my notes, right, and I've been really cautious here, just because I think I didn't want a fucking slating on it.
Yeah.
But when I was listening to this in the background, I was like, oh, what's this?
Exactly. Every time I was listening through, this one would come on. We're like, oh yeah, I forgot this one. Okay, this is all right.
The first time I was like, oh, album's over. Oh no, this is still the album.
Right, sure. Yeah, because it doesn't sound like the other stuff. No, this is a different.
If it had done a record that sounded like this, I'd have enjoyed it. I think.
Yeah.
Maybe.
There is a guitar solo. Let me skip the guitar solo.
It's a very Bill and Ted guitar solo, but it kind of works in context.
That's the thing. On this song, it's going to work. Right, let's bring that in. There is also, and I'll play a bit of it in a minute, there's a rock version of this song.
Oh, is there?
Yeah, which is a B-side done by one of the guitarists who plays on this. That guitar. Yeah. Going off, that is. A guy called Jens Gad, who's one of the guitarists. He's done his own kind of rock remix of it. And it's quite something. I'll stick a bit of it on. But yeah, see, even this version of it, this is the proper album version. And this guitar solo doesn't grate on me at all like the other ones don't. I'm like, yeah, that fits well.
This to me, with what was it called? I can't remember the name of the song now. Silent Warrior.
Oh God, yeah.
Like Silent Warrior, that kind of hint, like that kind of thing of like, which side of this is this on? It hinted at them having this in them.
That there could be.
And then this one, I think, is, look, it's not a fucking life-changing song, but it's a good song.
No, it's a good song, exactly. And it made me very happy that there was something on there, because I was struggling. The entire rest of the album I was struggling. This is the rock version.
This sounds like every song I've ever heard where someone that's a rock guitarist tries to do a dance song.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can hear that fucking stomp that just doesn't quite work.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We've heard industrial's quite the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds like a fucking gun.
Right. Let's skip a bit of this. He's just allowed to go on a bit. Fair enough, Jens. Yeah. You've done your thing. You've played on an album that I'm sure you don't like.
Yeah.
Here, just have a bit of respite. Do what you want. So yeah, rock version of that.
Yeah, rubbish. Anyway, okay, so that is
right. So that's the second last song.
Yeah, fucking hell. And I feel like we should high five or something.
I know we've actually found something to.
I just can't be bothered to move.
No. All right, last song is called "The Cross of Changes."
This is the title track.
Song.
Yeah. So I've got some plinky piano.
Yeah. I mean, in the same way that track one was an intro, this is just an outro.
Yeah, we got more profound greeting card self-help bullshit.
Yeah.
I can't even be bothered to. I couldn't even be bothered to write it down.
Well, I'll tell you. It says, "If you understand, or if you don't, if you believe, or if you doubt, there's a universal justice, and the eyes of truth are always watching you."
Really?
Fuck, what? That's like if you said to an AI project, "Can you write me some bollocks, please?"
Yeah.
That's mystical bollocks.
Yeah.
Bullshit. Yeah, this is... Oh, AI, can you create just a generic chill-out track for me, please? And put something that mad hippies will be into over the top of it. Oh, yeah, no problem. There you go. Done. Yeah. This is crap. This is just...
That's bullshit.
Again, they should have ended on the last song. They should have ended on the high.
Yeah.
Instead of taking us back down into this chill-out room that they're the fucking back of the club.
Okay, so this is the record. Okay, what's your thoughts? What's your overall thoughts?
Overall thoughts, not as awful as I thought it was going to be, but it's still shit.
Yeah, I've got this is a turd of a record, but it is nothing like as bad as the first one.
Yes, absolutely.
This isn't even in the top 10 worst records we've done.
No, and there's some bits of it. There's some bits where. And they are playing to my strengths. They are just going, all right, I'm just going to put a fucking big breakbeat over this. And that, even that just makes me go, all right, this is better. This is better than it was.
There are moments of redemption. There is a song that I like. And this album is simply poor rather than contemptible.
Well, there were bits that made me very angry.
Well,
but
there are, don't get me wrong, I'm not, I haven't fucking become Zen overnight. Do you know what I mean?
No.
But I would imagine if you're listening to this podcast, you're probably a bit upset that it's not been quite there.
Yeah, sorry.
We've got stuck into it a bit. But, it's not as bad as I thought it would be. And that's really...
And imagine, stick that on your marketing. Not as bad as you thought it was going to be.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I imagine with the millions of records that it sold, they don't give a fuck what I think.
No, they really don't.
But, I think, needless to say, I had the last laugh.
Yeah. Okay. Well, should we see what the people on Twitter thought about this?
Oh, yeah. We had a few, didn't we?
We did,
Let's have a look.
We had David O'Brien got in contact. He was like, an actual memory of the first time I did acid. I spent some of the come down period watching MTV in rapt amazement. In particular, I remember the superb Return to Innocence video, which had footage of waves crashing in slow motion on a beach. It was ace. But it was ace on acid.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we are taking from that.
I mean, what I'm saying there is the acid was good.
Precisely.
And you had a slightly worse experience than you could have done if you'd listened to something better. But yeah, okay, fair enough.
But thank you, David.
Thank you, David. Bradders.
Yes,
the only thing I recall from the time was A Return to Innocence being a hit, and my only opinion was it was boring, but at least a musically inoffensive song. I presume the album is more ambient new age wittering that makes Enya sound like Johnny Rotten by comparison.
Not far off, really.
Not far off.
Yeah, having not heard it, you're pretty fucking spot on that. Channel Nem said that Return to Innocence reminds me of watching MTV Europe around this time. It got quite a bit of airtime on there, and it may have been an advert for jeans, maybe. You're absolutely right. It was on about 6 or 7 different ads. It was on a couple of films. It was on TV.
It was so syncable.
It was everywhere.
They must have made so much
absolutely
money this. Anyway, remember looking at the sleeves. This is Phil Guthrie. Remember looking at the sleeves, seeing some offensively banal new age waffle in the liner notes. I bet you're wishing you'd built a free skip that one per year into your podcast rules.
I know, and that would be a tough one to agree on which one we skip as well. Would also be a challenge sometimes.
Yeah, blur.
Ben Collins says, I used to listen to Radio 1 and the Top 40 all the time back then. I have zero memory of this album or its singles, though I remember their first record well. So less memorable and worse than MCM's MXC? Question mark?
I mean, all I'm going to say to you, Ben, is as soon as you went, who are you, who are you, it'd all come flooding back.
Exactly, mate. Like you'd open a very stinky plug hole.
Yeah. What a rendition as well, though.
Thanks, Dave. That was just gorgeous. Scorn Hub, which I do enjoy your Twitter handle. Scorn Hub said, I should probably give it a listen while I'm in a hospital waiting room. It seems the right environment. And then he's kind of give us a little Twitter rundown as he's listening through. So he said, it was in and out very quickly, so I'm doing it now. Thoughts on 15 minutes in. Which perfume are this lot selling? Which early 90s dessert are this lot selling? We have Steve Hillage at home. And it's very cruel to remind me of Black Sabbath's The Wizard and then do this. Exactly.
1829, that's more like it. Well, hey, Dad's shredded.
Dad's shredded.
I didn't read all these replies, actually. I missed the thread on this. So, yeah, there's quite a few things in here, actually, that are things that we've said. So, yeah, nice one.
Yeah,
nice one. Neon Sewer.
His second half Twitter comments are, well, that's colonialism sorted. At least it isn't hindering my data entry tasks. Didn't we already have this one?
Yeah.
Which is definitely something we said as well. Deep prudence.
I like what you did. I like what you did.
And I should start going back to yoga classes. Yeah.
The Fisher Price sound. I like it. Yeah.
That's wicked. Yeah, no, thank you for that. That's a good commentary.
Well done, mate. Yeah, I enjoyed that one a great deal. Scorn Hub at Neon Sewer. Right, what we got now?
Oh, Darren.
Darren. A friend of the show, Darren. My dad loved this album and listened to it often on his Bang & Olufsen sound system. I can vouch for that.
Right.
His music tastes have now matured and he mostly listens to Eurodance. His current favourite is DJ Clubbing Man. This is not a joke. I love my dad. Please be kind. Did you look?
I did. I watched the video.
It's fucking
DJ Clubbing Man.
It's some of the worst thing I've ever heard in my life.
It's just shit.
Just the worst dance
Straight
music.
up shit.
It's like AI created sounds of Ibiza, but there are loads of girls in bikinis in the video.
Yeah, so your dad likes that, does he? Yeah,
exactly.
Brilliant. John and Lee's has just come in and said, now with added extra monks.
Yeah, there is some monks in there.
We got some monks. Yeah, thoughts and vespers. And Scorn Hub.
Nice. Guys, thank you for joining us. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you haven't, I mean,
Yeah, what can we say?
It was free, wasn't it?
Well, I mean, the obvious question: what song are we putting on the playlist? There's only one.
Oh yeah,
that's fine.
fucking, I nearly forgot about that. Yes, we are putting on. Yeah. We're putting on "Out from the Deep."
Out from the Deep goes on to the ongoing best of every album playlist that we do.
Yeah, check that out. We link that off the website.
Exactly. Thank you.
And yeah, what we got next week, Krista?
Next week, well, I mean, after the downbeat joys of Enigma, we've got the downbeat joys of Morrissey next week. Yeah, we got Morrissey, Vauxhall, and I.
Vauxhall and I.
Yep. So that's happening.
Well, wonderful. I can't wait. Right, wonderful. If I haven't killed myself, I'll be back, hopefully in a couple of weeks, something like that.
We shall give it a go.
We'll be back. Thank you for joining us. Take care. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for checking out this episode of Pop Collaborate and Listen. It was produced and edited by us, for which we can only apologise. We're on Twitter at PCL Podcast, on Instagram also at PCL Podcast, and Facebook.com/PCL Podcast. All of these, plus links to our various Spotify playlists, etc., are on our website, which is PCLpodcast.com. Please feel free to get in contact via any of the social media or on PCLmusicpodcast@gmail.com.